Class 8. Let us move on with our lesson, Rise of Regional Kingdoms. So far, we have learnt about the end of the independent Nawab Siraj-ud-Daulah in the Battle of Plassey in 1757 at the hands of the British East India Company. After the defeat of Siraj-ud-Daulah, the British had actually or officially able to exert their political and economic control over Bengal. Now let us move on. After the Battle of Plassey, Mir Jafar was elected as, rather than elected, he was put as the next Nawab by the British East India Company. And as reward, Mir Jafar had given enormous amount of wealth to Robert Clive and the other company officials. This giving away of huge amount of wealth is known as Plassey plunder. Another important phrase is drain of wealth. That is, the wealth that was given or taken by the company officials, that was taken to England, but it never came back to India as investment. So the wealth that went away never came back. Like the water of the drain flows away, never comes back. In the same way, the wealth from Bengal after the Battle of Plassey had drained out by the English East India Company to England, and it remained over there. It never came back to India for its development. So this is known as the drain of wealth. Now let us move on to Mir Jafar's Nawabship. Mir Jafar had become literally a puppet Nawab. That means he was the Nawab only in name. The entire political and economic activities of Bengal was run by the British East India Company. Now, in order to become independent, like he was losing revenue, he was not a foolish man, but he had understood, but he had no power actually. So he wanted to bring back the power of Nawab. So he started to plan, and for that reason he befriended with the Dutch, and the English had become angry for that reason, and so they dethroned Mir Jafar, and they actually attacked the Dutch. The British attacked the Dutch in the Battle of Bidera in 1759, and they defeated the Dutch, and then they removed Mir Jafar from Nawabship, and they installed his son-in-law Mir Qasim as the next Nawab. Now Mir Qasim, he was young, and he from the very beginning wanted to become an independent ruler. He did not want the British to control him, and for that reason Mir Jafar had from the beginning introduced certain reforms in his administration. Now he had fulfilled the demands of the British East India Company, and after that he wanted to exert his own power in his region, and for that reason he had paid a lot of money. He had taken loan from the rich merchant Jagat Seth and had paid a lot of money to the British East India Company, as well as he had given them the zamindari right of Bardhaman, Midnapur and Chittagong. but at the same time he had received the acknowledgement of his Nawabship from the Mughal Emperor Shah Alam II, and this did not go well with the British, because British did not want the Nawab of Bengal to be a ruler, actual ruler. They wanted to rule in name of the Nawab of Bengal. So the Mughal Emperor giving acknowledgement to the Nawab of Bengal officially, that was not acceptable to the British East India Company, and for that reason they were not happy with Mir Qasim. Another thing that Mir Qasim realized that Murshidabad was closer to Calcutta, and for that reason the British had easy access to the court of Murshidabad and interfering in the internal administration of Bengal. For that reason he shifted his capital from Murshidabad to Munger in Bihar, which Munger comparatively was a little further. So it was not so easy for the British to interfere in his administration. Further, Mir Jafar had confiscated, he had arrested the corrupted landlords and the officials in his courts and confiscated their properties. So to some extent the Nawab's treasury started to fill up. Besides, Mir Qasim was not at all happy with the misuse of Dastak by the company officials. The company was given the right to duty-free trade by the Farman of Farrukhshire, but the company officials were using this Farman for their own interest, selfish interest. They were earning their personal profits. They were not giving tax to the Nawab for their personal trade. But Mir Qasim was not happy with that, because the local merchants, the native merchants, they were losing the trade because of the competition from the British East India Company's merchants. So Mir Qasim, when he realized the problem of the native merchants, he could not control the East India Company's activities. So in order to give the native merchants fair chance, he had exempted them from giving tax for the trading purpose. That means the Indian merchants were also doing the duty-free trade. They were also availing the benefit of Dastak. So this was not at all accepted by the British East India Company. Moreover, Mir Qasim had appointed the French generals in his army, and he started to give his soldiers training in European war strategies, as well as he had set up the gun and cannon factory in Munger. So all these activities of Mir Qasim was not acceptable by the British East India Company, and they went against Mir Qasim, and then there were wars, several wars. The battles of Katwa, Giriya and Udaynala in 1763, Nawab Mir Qasim was defeated. Mir Qasim defeated in these three battles by the British East India Company, and he went to Allahabad, and there he joined hands with the Mughal Emperor Shah Alam II and the Nawab of Awadh, and together their army met with the British East India Army in the battlefield of Buxar in the year 1764. But in the battle, the Indian coalition was defeated by the British East India Company, and after that officially the area of Bengal came under the British political flag. So we will learn about the aftermath of the Battle of Buxar in the next class.